In 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted. The sky tore open, ash, fire, and scorching stones were hurled into the air. A cloud of flame descended upon the city, devouring everything in its path. Houses, temples, people. Pompeii was buried alive. Within hours, an entire city ceased to exist. But before that moment, life was there. Pompeii was more than just a name. It was a center of beauty, wealth, and everyday life. It was a city shining under the Mediterranean sun, surrounded by hills and overlooking the sea. With its orderly stone streets, grand villas with inner courtyards, and shops overflowing with goods, it was vibrant and lively. Even hours before the disaster, the city was breathing. The sun illuminated marble columns, and the colorful mosaics in the villas gleamed. The smell of fresh bread wafted through the narrow streets. In the square, merchants shouted to sell fabric, fish, and spices. Children ran around the fountains, and women watched the streets from their balconies. Everything was ordinary. Everything was peaceful. In the mornings, the sounds of carts carrying fruit and wine-filled amphorae could be heard. The merchants' shouts, the jingling of coins, children's laughter, and the flowing water of fountains blended together. Bakeries produced hot focaccia and round loaves sent to the tables of both the common people and the nobles. The air was filled with the scents of spices, olive oil, and incense burning in the temples. In the elegant neighborhoods, women walked through colonnaded streets in light tunics, wearing gold pins and amber necklaces. The wealthy lingered in their homes' inner gardens, reading papyrus scrolls, sipping sweet wine, and discussing Roman politics. Pompeii was an advanced and well-organized city for its time. Its baths were engineering marvels. Hot water flowed through intricate pipes, and men gathered in the calidarium to socialize. Above all this life, a silent mountain rose. Vesuvius did not appear frightening. Green and covered with vineyards, it seemed generous. The people of Pompeii saw it as a bountiful mountain, not a volcano. Its dark soil was fertile, and the grapes growing on its slopes produced wines appreciated even in Rome. In summer, its shade cooled the fields, always present on the horizon. No one ever wondered what lay hidden inside, yet the earth had given warnings. For months, there had been small tremors. Cracks appeared in walls, wells yielded less water, and animals were restless. The elders spoke of past times when the mountain had shaken, but the city was accustomed. These signs were ignored. Pompeii seemed strong, and no one believed that a civilization could collapse from a few tremors. Then the day arrived. On the morning of August 24th, the sky was clear. Meals were being prepared in homes, clothes were being washed, and evening plans discussed. Priests conducted ceremonies in temples, and slaves cleaned the columns. Children played with clay marbles. Everything was ordinary. Then the ground suddenly shook with a deep, powerful vibration. A deafening explosion followed. Vesuvius had erupted. Birds took flight. Animals panicked. Walls shook. Amphorae toppled. Doors slammed. A black column rose into the sky, filled with ash, smoke, and fiery stones. The blue sky turned gray, then brown, and finally black. The sun became a pale shadow. The air grew heavy, making it hard to breathe. Pumice stones began to fall like rain, at first light, then growing heavier. Roofs could not bear the weight. Some collapsed. Villas, warehouses, and baths were damaged one by one. Streets filled with stones and ash. People tried to escape, but there was no direction. Some ran to the countryside, others hid in basements. Screams filled the air. Mothers searched for their children. People struggled to understand what was happening. As the city plunged into darkness, lamps went out, the air thickened with dust, and breaths became shallow. Hours passed, and the situation worsened. Then came the final blow. From the crater, the pyroclastic cloud emerged, Vesuvius's deadliest force, a wave of gas and ash traveling at 300 kilometers per hour, reaching 700 degrees. Like a wave of water, but made of fire and death. In less than half a minute, it reached the city. There was no escape. The air became fire. Those outside died almost instantly. The heat was so intense that bodies stiffened and bones cracked, yet their positions were preserved. Those who had taken shelter inside met the same fate. The clouds seeped through doors and windows. A mother crouched over her child. A man knelt in prayer. A chained dog tried to dig into the ground. Life froze in that moment. Not only Pompeii, but Herculaneum, Oplontis, and Stabiae were destroyed. Yet Pompeii was nearly perfectly sealed. In less than a day, the city was buried under 6 meters of ash and stone. Time passed. Survivors fled. The city's name was forgotten. For centuries, vineyards grew, fields were cultivated. No one knew that an entire city lay beneath their feet. In the 18th century, during works near the Sarno River, frescoed walls, mosaics, and amphorae were uncovered. As excavations progressed, a city frozen on its last day came to light. Houses, kitchens, shops, inscriptions, everything was in place. When archaeologists poured plaster into voids left in the ash, the shapes of human bodies emerged. Not skeletons, but human silhouettes in the positions they had taken in death. Fingers bent, faces contorted, as if time itself had sealed them. Pompeii was not merely destroyed, it was preserved. It still speaks today. It has no voice, but its ruins tell the story. Everyone who walks its streets is more than a visitor. They are a witness. Pompeii reminds us of a single truth. No one knew that morning it would be their last day. But it was. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We will continue to trace the path of time. See you on the next journey, time traveler.